It's official. In a stunning turn, the Stars and Stripes will once again fly over a former United States naval base in the Philippines. Headlines flash across international news as a long-dormant port prepares for a dramatic rebirth. The world watches as two old allies rekindle their military bond, announcing a bold move with global consequences. The base, once silent, now buzzes with the promise of returning power. The timing is electric. Regional security is at stake. Warships loom on the horizon, and jets scream overhead in practice runs. The United States Navy is coming back, and it's not coming quietly. Philippine and United States flags flutter together, signaling a new era. Cameras capture the historic handshake between leaders on the dock, their faces set with the weight of responsibility. Sirens blare, local crowds gather, craning to glimpse the first American vessels entering the bay in over 3 decades. Journalists scramble for interviews while the world's analysts rush to measure the impact. It's more than a military maneuver, it's a message to rivals and reassurance to allies. The details are staggering. By 2026, the United States will invest $1.5 billion to bring the storied naval base back to life. The agreement, signed in Manila, spells out a vision for the future, one built on steel, silicon, and shared resolve. The base will become a fortress of modern technology and joint military might. This is not simply a return, it's a transformation. Where rust and weeds once claimed the docks, engineers and construction crews move in. They pour concrete, string fiber optic cables, and weld the skeletons of new hangars. Every dollar is a promise, to defend, to deter, to deepen the United States-Philippine alliance. The announcement sends ripples through defense circles worldwide. Strategists and diplomats pore over the blueprints. They see new radar systems, advanced command centers, and reinforced runways. The message is clear. The base is coming back stronger, smarter, and ready for the challenges ahead. The base's history is as rich as it is complicated. Built during the United States colonial era, it became one of the largest American naval facilities in Asia. Throughout the Cold War, it stood as a bulwark against communist expansion, hosting fleets, submarines, and tens of thousands of personnel. Local towns flourished around its gates, a blend of cultures, commerce, and camaraderie. But in 1992, everything changed. Rising national pride and political tides in the Philippines led to the United States' withdrawal. The base fell quiet. Empty barracks and silent docks haunted the shoreline, reminders of a vanished era. For decades, the world wondered if the alliance would ever be as close again. Yet, memories endured. Veterans and locals alike kept the stories alive, of joint missions, risky rescues, and the base's role during global crises. Now, as plans move into high gear, the region feels the weight of history and the hope of renewal. Why return, and why now? The answer lies in the shifting tides of the Asia-Pacific. Over the past decade, tensions have soared in the South China Sea. China's growing maritime power, island building, and military assertiveness have alarmed neighbors and partners alike. Security flashpoints multiply, and old alliances take on new urgency. Philippine leaders have watched their fishing boats harassed and their Coast Guard challenged. United States officials warn that freedom of navigation is at risk. Together, both nations face a stark choice: stand apart or stand together. The reopening of the base is a clear signal to Beijing and to the world of their decision. It's not just about confrontation, it's about reassurance. For smaller Southeast Asian states, a revitalized United States-Philippine alliance brings hope for balance. For Washington, it's a forward post in a contested region. For Manila, it's renewed security, and a seat at the table in shaping the future. This new chapter is about more than nostalgia. $1.5 billion buys some serious firepower and, honestly, some pretty futuristic tools. State-of-the-art radar arrays rise above the coastline, always scanning for threats. Sophisticated missile defense systems bristle near the shore. Hangars now shelter next-generation fighter jets and unmanned surveillance drones. Training facilities are getting a dramatic overhaul too. Virtual reality simulators let Filipino and American troops drill for every scenario you can imagine, from rescue missions all the way to all-out defense. New logistics hubs streamline resupply, while cyber defense centers fortify the base against digital attack. Every upgrade here reflects the lessons learned over the last decade. Energy is renewable, buildings are hardened, and communications are encrypted. Military planners really stress interoperability, the ability of U.S. and Philippine forces to fight as one. The old base is now a fortress built for the threats of tomorrow. On a humid morning, American and Filipino soldiers march in step, boots thudding in unison. Joint exercises fill the air with the thunder of helicopters and the crackle of live fire drills. Warships from both nations glide in formation, exchanging signals and cheers. The partnership is not just political, it's personal and practical. Young Filipino cadets learn to operate American aircraft, while U.S. advisors study local navigation and tactics. Language lessons echo in the barracks. Joint patrols venture into contested waters, drawing lines that are both literal and symbolic. Old hands mentor new recruits, sharing stories and skills. Camaraderie builds. Local families host barbecues for visiting sailors, and cultural festivals fill the calendar. What was once just a military installation now feels like a community reborn. The alliance is no longer just on paper, it's alive on the ground. The base's return changes everything for nearby towns. Local businesses thrive as thousands of workers arrive. Engineers, cooks, translators, and more. Hotels fill up, restaurants overflow, and new shops open to meet the demand. For many, the economic revival is a lifeline after years of uncertainty. Security improves too. Police and military patrols protect not just the base, but the wider community. New infrastructure, roads, power lines, internet cables benefits everyone. Schools get new investment and medical clinics see fresh funding. The sense of hope is palpable, yet change brings challenges. Some worry about rising rents or traffic, others debate the social effects of a bigger foreign presence. Still, the overall mood is optimistic. For most, the base's return is less about nostalgia and more about opportunity, a chance to build a better future. Philippine Defense Secretary Arsenio Santos stands before the cameras, his voice steady. This partnership strengthens our sovereignty and our security. We welcome our American friends as partners, not as patrons. Together, we protect our nation's future. His words draw applause from soldiers and civilians alike. From Washington, U.S. Defense Secretary Lisa Carter echoes the sentiment. Our alliance with the Philippines is unbreakable. This investment is about peace, deterrence, and prosperity for both our peoples. We stand together, ready for any challenge. International observers note the unity in tone and purpose. Local leaders add their voices. Mayor Julia Reyes calls the reopening a blessing for our city. Labor unions praise the surge in jobs. Environmental groups press for sustainability, and both governments vow transparency. Across the board, the message is clear. This is a new chapter, written by both nations. As the base hums with activity, analysts look to the horizon. The U.S.-Philippine alliance is now at the center of regional security. New joint exercises with Japan, Australia, and other partners are planned. The base becomes a hub for diplomacy as much as defense, hosting summits and humanitarian operations. Still, challenges remain. China's response is measured but wary. Patrols increase and official statements call for restraint. Other Southeast Asian nations watch closely, weighing their own paths. The game of alliances is on, and the stakes have never been higher. For the Philippines, the base is a shield and a lever, a way to assert its place in the region. For the U.S., it's a signal of enduring commitment. For all, it's a test of whether old alliances can meet new realities. The reopening of the former U.S. naval base is more than a military maneuver. It's a statement of purpose. It marks a renewed commitment to shared values, mutual defense, and regional stability. For the people of the Philippines, it means jobs, security, and a stronger voice in global affairs. For Americans, it's a chance to deepen ties with an essential ally. The world will watch what happens next. The $1.5 billion investment is only the start. The real measure will come in the years ahead, as both nations face new threats and seize new opportunities together. For now, the message is heard loud and clear. The U.S. and the Philippines are back, side by side, ready for whatever the future holds. For regional peace, for economic growth, and for the security of generations to come, this partnership stands as a beacon of hope, and a warning to those who would threaten it. The story of the base is not just about the past. It's about writing the next chapter, together.